Hey everyone, welcome. Today we're going to dive into something I find absolutely fascinating, how we can use the moon's cycle as a real practical guide for our everyday lives. For managing our energy, figuring out when to go all in, and when to just rest. Let's get into it. So let me ask you this. Do you ever have one of those weeks, the kind, where you're pushing so hard to make things happen, but it just feels like you're swimming upstream, totally against the current? Or maybe, out of nowhere, you get this huge burst of energy and everything just clicks. What if I told you that wasn't random at all? What if it's part of a rhythm that you can actually learn to tap into? And this really gets to the heart of it. The lunar cycle isn't just some random thing happening up in the sky. It's a precise celestial language, a kind of cosmic grammar. Once you start to understand its phases, you can begin to decode the energetic rhythm of your own life and actually start working with it. Okay, so let's start decoding that secret language. We're going to break down the fundamental energy flow of the moon's 28-day journey and see how it really acts as a blueprint for our own personal cycles of growth and release. This right here simplifies everything down to one beautiful core concept, the energetic wave. Just think of the entire lunar cycle as one giant breath. The first half is the inhale. That's when you're building, acting, and growing. And the second half? That's the exhale, a time for releasing, healing, and resting. Pretty simple, right? Now, while the cycle really does affect everyone, some of us feel it a bit more intensely, especially if you're a water sign. I'm talking about Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Your core energy is all about emotion, intuition, and healing. The moon governs the tides, right? Well, that applies to the emotional tides within us too, which makes you super attuned to this ebb and flow. So let's see how this energy actually builds. We'll start right at the beginning of the cycle, with the inhale. You can think of this part as the start of a hero's journey, where we're gathering our strength and building energy towards a specific goal. So here we are, back at our sine wave, and we're focusing on that first upward curve. This is the inhale phase. It spans all the way from the new moon to the first quarter, and it is all about kicking things off and building momentum. It's pretty much the universe giving you a giant green light to start something new. Now, this inhale phase has two really key parts. First, the new moon. This is for planting your seeds, setting those clear intentions. Then, we move into the waxing crescent, where we take the first small steps to give our goals some real traction. To make this real, let's meet Alex. Alex is a Cancer who's been dreaming of starting a creative project, but has been feeling, completely stuck. Right as the new moon enters their sign, Alex feels this little pull, this whisper to just begin. This quote just captures that energy perfectly. It's time to start fresh, to nurture what truly, deeply matters. And for Alex, that's their creative idea. So what's the very first step? Here's a super simple habit for this phase. Alex decides to just journal for 5 minutes a day about the project. That's it. No pressure, no judgment, just letting the ideas flow. This one small act of nurturing during the waxing crescent starts to build that inner strength and momentum for the journey ahead. All right, the energy is building and the journey is leading us to a really powerful climax. This is what we call the apex. It's the point of maximum light and revelation where we're all kind of asked to face our truth. Looking back at our energy map, you can see we've hit the very top of that wave, the full moon. This represents the absolute peak of the cycle. All that energy we've been building, it's now at its most potent. This is a time of climax, crystal clear clarity, and sometimes pretty intense revelations. The full moon literally shines a light on what's been hidden in the darkness. It's when all your efforts come to a head. Truths are revealed, things start to manifest, and emotions are running high. For our friend Alex, this peak energy brings a major breakthrough. So, fueled by this peak full moon energy, Alex feels this incredible surge of confidence and emotional honesty. They take a huge, brave step and share their creative project with a trusted friend for the very first time. It's a huge moment of vulnerability for sure, but also one of powerful release and validation. So, that brings us to the daily habit for this phase. Practice emotional honesty. It doesn't have to be some giant secret you're revealing. It can be as simple as sharing a feeling you've been holding onto with someone you really trust. This simple act totally aligns you with the revealing, clarifying energy of the full moon. After that big climax comes the resolution. We're now moving into the second half of the cycle, the exhale. And this isn't about giving up or failing. No way. It's about the deep wisdom that comes from integration and release.
So here we are on the downward slope of that wave. The energy is receding, the time for pushing and striving is over for now. This is the time for letting go of what's not serving us anymore, for integrating the lessons we've learned, and for allowing ourselves to heal and rest before the next cycle kicks off. And just like the inhale, the exhale has two key stages. First up is the last quarter moon, which is all about release and integration. So Alex gets feedback from their friend. Some of it's amazing, some of it's challenging. This phase is asking Alex to let go of self-criticism and integrate the helpful lessons. After that, the waning crescent is all about recovery and reflection. For Alex, the energy of the last quarter moon in Cancer is especially potent. The big message here is forgiveness. To truly move forward, Alex realizes they need to release that nagging fear of not being perfect. Real healing begins when you soften your heart and let go of those old wounds of self-doubt.
And this brings us to our final daily habit. During this phase, just take a moment each day to identify one piece of self-criticism, write it down on a piece of paper, and then, consciously, with real intention, forgive yourself and decide to release it. This act really completes the whole transformative journey of the cycle. So, we've walked through the entire cycle with Alex, but the real power here is learning how to apply this to your own life. Let's look at how you can use this framework as your very own personal cosmic compass. This map is such a fantastic tool. The key is to just ask yourself, how am I feeling right now? If you're feeling restless and ready to start something, look to the new moon. If you feel like you're facing a major challenge, you're probably in that first quarter or full moon energy. And if you're just exhausted and know you need to let go, you're in the exhale phase. Use your main feeling to find your place on the map.
And I really want to leave you with this thought. Whether you're in a moment of bright new beginnings, some profound friction, or a necessary period of darkness and rest, the most important thing to remember is that the cycle is unbroken. The energy will always return. There is a reliable cosmic rhythm that you can always trust.
Thank you so much for joining me today. If this helped you understand your own inner cycles a little better, please do me a favor and hit that like button, leave a comment, and maybe share it with someone who might need to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe for more guides to the cosmos. Lastly, if you're interested in any of the beautiful decks you saw here, you can find them at www.shadowslight1111.com. Thanks again for watching.
Blue light in my eyes. Then your handle hits like a glitch in the sky. Shadows light 11:11. Flip my fate in a 30-second heaven. One card, two cards, heart wide open. You say trust and the timeline's frozen. Shadows light 11:11. Got me stuck on this little confession. Didn't come here looking for a sign, but you read my soul between the lines.